Hi, I'm Warren, and welcome back to this intermediate Power BI course. Hope you're having fun so far. Okay, we've created our operational dashboard. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and create all the rest of these. As I said, we're not going to spend too much time on the formatting. It's more the idea of how to create the visuals, and then you can play around and format it the way that you want it to be. So if we go back to our desktop model, we've got this so far. We have our interactive dashboard working. We can filter by all of our filters, our slices at the top here. We can click on any visual to filter everything, so it's quite interactive. On the visuals that are done by year and month, we can drill in. So it's working quite nicely. So what we want to do now is do the rest of these. And on these, we still have our information button here. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to delete the information button from each page, because we decided we don't need that. We'll have it only on our first page. And we're going to replace that with the date slicer here. So we can click on that. Instead of recreating it, we can go Control C to copy it. Go to our sales page, Control V, and it'll place it there automatically. Now you'll get this little pop-up saying, do you want to sync the visuals? Now what that means is if you chose only 2023's date range on the dashboard, do you want this to be in sync and also automatically filter to that date range, or do you want it to be independent and the user would have to go and re-filter the data for a specific date range? And it'll always do that when you copy filters, no matter what the filter is. So I'm going to choose don't sync, but if you wanted, if a user went and chose Costco, selected all the filters and this, if you had the same filters on each page, you could actually have them synced where they would always be the same as the first one that was selected. I don't want that for now, but I'm going to go and I'm going to copy this across all of them. Control V, don't sync. Control V, don't sync. Control V, don't sync. Self-service BI, don't sync. If you want, you can go and you can play with the formatting and move these across. But again, we're not going to focus too much on the formatting. So we've got our date slices across the whole way. So now we want to look at sales in detail. So again, we want to go and have a look by year. So we're going to go and grab a column chart this time. We're going to take only calendar year, and we're going to take total sales. Because we're going into detail here, we want it always across the years. So we'll leave it like that. You can see year on year. And then next to it, we want the month. So on our dashboard, it's interactive. We can drill into it. On this one, we're going to show more detail. So here I'm going to take out the year and I'm going to show month on month. And here you can see the sorting is a bit weird. We'll take a look at why. Let's just have a look and see here. Got sales. Let's put in year. And then calendar year month number. There we go. I've left the year in just to help with the sorting. So we're never going to look at it from this level because we've already got that here. But the drill down level, we're going to leave this field in just so that the sorting is always sequential in month. So there you can see year on year. On both of these, we want to add a couple of lines that we can measure this against. Remember, in the real world, on every visual, if you don't have a target, it is not adding any value because we don't know if it's good or bad. So you need to have it against budget or against target, or, there has to be something that can tell us if we're doing well or not. So if we go here, we can add an average line. We can make that line red. We might want to see what is the max and the minimum. So we can add a max line. And we can make that line green. Let's choose a green color. And we can make that line solid, just to have something different. And we can add a minimum line. So we can see what was the max sales, what's the min sales, and what's the average. And that we can add as, what color can we do there? Make it like a gold color. So there you can see the maximum, the minimum, and that's the average in the middle. Maybe it would make more sense to have the minimum as red and the average as a yellow. But for now, we can leave it like that. Here we can go and do the same for this. We'll add a min line. We'll make it that color. We'll make it solid. We will add a, that was a max line. Apologies, let's make that green. We'll add a min line. For minimum value, we'll make that, just to keep it consistent, we'll make it yellow, and then we'll make our average the red, because that'll be deemed as our target. We want to be above average as we're going, and leave that as dashed. Here we don't have a max line for some reason. Let's change that to a solid line. It's still dashed. So that's our minimum line. We want that to be solid. And on this one, we want a max line. Max line is there. That we wanted it to be green and solid. And then we wanted an average line to be red and dashed. There we go. So we can see how we're doing. That's our best value across the months. That's our worst value across the months. And the dotted line is the average. And then sometimes companies will want to see a data table where they can physically go in and see the numbers. So we can add a table here. We can put it below the graph. And here we can go and add some data. We want year, year and month. They might want to see a quarter, so maybe quarter number. And then we can go and add all of our KPIs. So we can say there's the quantity, total sales, number of transactions, distinct customers, and average spend. So there's a nice data table for them to be able to see the numbers. So there's our sales detail. If we want to get into product, here we might want to look at quantity. So let's go grab this, put it up here. We can look at quantity by category. So we've got total quantity by product category. We might want to look at total sales by product category. So we can copy and paste that and put it below. Take sales. As you can see, doing the visuals is literally copying and pasting. And we might want to know the average spend product category. So we go average spend product category there. So let's maybe space these out a bit better, make them a bit bigger. Again, you can play with the formatting. In the middle, we might want to see by product name. So again, when you're looking at categories that are non-time categories, it's always best to do it on the y-axis. So again, we can grab something like this, move that into the middle like that. And here we wanted the quantity by product. So there we have that. And we might want to see total sales by product name. So we could put that underneath there and just drag and drop total sales. And then here we might want to see average spend by product, because that could add some value. So we can see by each product what the average spend per visit is. And then we might want to know, how many customers per product. So we can put that over here, distinct number of customers that have purchased, and we want that by product name. And that gives us a lot of detail on our product range. We can see by category. We can, again, you can click on any one and you can filter it by, or you might want to see only electronic products. You can see them there. If you decided, you could add your drop downs at the top here if you wanted to. Customer, it's going to be very, very similar to what we've just done. We might want to see distinct customer by year, so we can go and we can grab that. We can put it in the top corner. It's over time, so we're going to put the time on the x-axis. So we might go and grab year, calendar year on the x-axis, and we want to have distinct number of purchases, like that. Again, you could play with the fonts and the sizing. We might want to have the same thing here like we did on our sales, and have the purchases by month. So we can drop the month in there and we can draw down. There we go. Again, if we wanted to add any of the average or min or max lines, we might say, let's add our best month. We'll add that as a green line so you can see what the best value was. We'll make that solid. So we always want to strive how far are we from our best month there. We might want to have our worst month. And here again, maybe worst you'd want to do is red. And make that a solid line. So there you can see where each month is sitting between best and worst, for instance. You might also want to look at sales by gender. So here we'll go and we'll grab another graph there. We can go total sales. We'll grab our customer gender. We could have that there. You might want to have total sales by age bucket. We could grab that, total sales by age bucket. We had that on our main dashboard, but again, this is our detailed version. And we might want total sales by occupation. So we can go and grab this. We can grab occupation and total sales. So there we can get to know our customers by a few demographics. So that would be our customer detail. When we're looking at store, here we might want to look at total sales by store name. Again, best practice, that would be on the y-axis because it's not over time. So we would go and grab store name and we would grab total sales. We might want to see average spend by store, so we can put that in the middle here and grab average spend, place total sales there. And we might want to see quantity. So what kind of quantities are we moving? So we could grab total quantity. And then again, if you wanted to see it, you could click on, whatever metric you want to measure. We might want to have distinct customers by store name. So let's go and grab another one of these. We can chuck it in the corner here. And here we want distinct customers purchased by store name. And then we might want to show the location of the store, so we can grab a map. This is a really nice visual. We can grab a map. We can fill the entire section here with a map. And here we would put the latitude and longitude. So you can see in the options for the visual, you've got latitude and longitude. In our data, we have the latitude and longitude. So we could go latitude, longitude, and our bubble size, we want to look at total sales. So we go and drop total sales in bubble size. And the bigger the bubble, the more sales. So there you can see our one that's out at sea. But as you can see, if you mouse over the store, you can see the latitude, longitude, and total sales. If you want to add more KPIs to that pop-up, you can add them here in the tooltips. So we might want to go add total quantity, number of transactions, distinct count of customers. You can add whatever you want in there. And maybe you want to have average spend per transaction. Now if you mouse over, You can see it gives you all of those KPIs. It also adds it to the heading here, which you might not want. So we can click on the visual, we go to formatting, and we can go to map settings. Let's go down here, category labels off. Let's go to general, title, and there we can delete all of those, and we can just say total sales by store, just to not have a title that is too big. Again, you can do all the formatting you want here. So under title, you have the option of, changing font, the heading type, the size. You can center the heading if you want it centered. I normally do that, it looks a little bit better, but you can play around with that. And then the last option we're going to look at is the self-service BI. So the nice thing about this is we use something called a decomposition tree. So we can add that visual. We can fill up this entire space. And here you can analyze and explain by. So what do we want to analyze? We want to analyze total sales. So there's our total sales measure. And explain by, we can add all of our dimensions. We want, say, age bucket. We want city. We want gender. We want occupation. Then we go down to, here, we might want calendar year first. Calendar year and month. Product category, product name, and store name. Let's move store name down one. And now what happens, all of those that you've put in there come up here. So you can choose age bucket. You can go in and you can say by gender, by occupation, by year. So you can see what year. And then you might click on this one and it reroutes to that. Or you might go, I want to see this age bucket. And if you want to make any changes, you just delete them from the top and you go and re-add them. So that's what the self-service BI is. It's a really, really great tool. And your end user can go in and it can define or find their own results by filtering through the different dimensions. So there we have our self-service BI. And the last one, our info tab, you could put whatever info you wanted here. So if we go back home, we can save this. We can use our navigation by holding down Control. We can view our dashboard. There's our dashboard. We can go back home. You could have this navigation on every page if you wanted. Some scenarios you might have navigation on the side or across the top. I just, to save space, use the logo as a button to navigate. And we can go through all of our different report detail, and we can see our dashboard that we built, and then we have our info button that is not showing in our navigation. So again, the formatting is not great. You can spend time on that, but once you've done all of that and you're happy, you can go and you can click publish. You can choose where you want to publish it to, so I'll just do it to my workspace. If you don't have a Power BI account, you can go and create one. You can create one for free. And when you publish it, you can go open it in Power BI itself. And there within Power BI service, you can see your final report. So now I don't have to hold down Control to navigate between the pages. Because we're in the Power BI service, we can see our dashboard, we can filter it, we can change our date parameters, we can minimize that, we don't need that navigation, we've got ours. We can see our sales, we can see our products, we can see our customer detail, we can see our store detail with our map. If we mouse over, we see all our KPIs. We can go to our self-service BI, where we can build our own report to get numbers by gender, whatever we want. We can change it. We can use the date slicer here to limit the amount of data we want in that result. And if we go to our info, there's our info page. So we might want to remove the info button from there because we're already on the info page. We don't need the info button there. But there we have our final report. So that is it for this course. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said before, if this was a little bit too involved for you, you can go back to the beginner course that I have on YouTube that explains all the basics. I will be adding a future course on DAX where we go into the detail behind all different DAX calculations. That's where the true power in Power BI comes from. So that'll be the next course that I offer. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a lot. And please share it with your friends and family if they want to learn how to use Power BI. And if you can like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for the time. Hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. And I'll see you in the next course. Thanks so much.